Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this channel. Uh, After the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua and the swearing in of Kithure Kindiki, a lot of political formations are going to slowly start emerging, and people are going to start aligning for the formations that will determine who will win presidency in the 2027 general election. And one of the persons I want to us to look into in this discussion is the Right Honorable Fred Matiang'i. Fred Matiang'i is one person who is known in the entire Kenya because he did perform very well during the times of President Uhuru Kenyatta. And early this year, Fred Matiang'i had shown interest and that he is going to run for presidency in 2027. And now that Rigathi Gachagua has just been impeached and is out of office officially, I think it's the right time for Fred Matiang'i to come out and declare his bid for presidency so that Kenyans can start having him in thought. So, if in any case Fred Matiang'i is serious with winning presidency, because we saw that he has a lot of support from international support, and he tends to get some US agencies to support him in running for presidency, and he's just not a joking man. He will come with a lot of effect in the 2027 in terms of the coalition that will be formed. But remember that Fred Matiang'i is a neutral man, and if you ask any Kenyan, they don't have a bad feeling about him. They believe that he's a person, he is a performer, and he's a man who can achieve if elected president. So, if Rigathi Gachagua could have formed a coalition with Fred Matiang'i and Kalonzo Musyoka, then it's going to be a very, very strong coalition that will determine, that will run against President William Ruto in the 2027 general election. Remember, in 2022, the Mount Kenya region gave President William Samoei Ruto 47% of the total votes he did get. That was about 3.1 million votes that William Samoei Ruto garnered from the entire Mount Kenya region. But now with the fallout with Rigathi Gachagua, I think even if President William Samoei Ruto is going to try and get some votes from Mount Kenya East, where he has elected where Kithure Kindiki comes from, I think it's going to be hard for him to get those percentages he did get in 2022. And Rigathi Gachagua is going to determine where a lot of a greater percentage of those votes is going to be directed to, because he's a man people believe that he's been betrayed, and he's a man people, the Mount Kenya regions, believe that he has lost his seat because he was defending the mountain. If any case you have heard about the Usiguse Mulima narrative, I think if Freddy Matiang'i comes in and forms a coalition with Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua, and gets part of the Gen Z support. Because the Gen Z effect, we saw how powerful it was when it did demonstrations. We have seen how powerful it was, and when it made even the entire cabinet be done away, and there was a new cabinet secretary in place. So if Matiang'i comes in, gets the support of Rigathi Gachagua, that's you get a good percentage of votes from the Mount Kenya region, because people in the Mount Kenya region don't have anything against Fred Matiang'i. They will freely support him. Then Kalonzo Musyoka comes in with the voting bloc of the Ukambani region. I think if the people of the Ukambani region strongly believe in Kalonzo Musyoka, and they have always voted in line with what Kalonzo Musyoka tells them, and then that will mean that if Fred Matiang'i is the president, he's going to divide votes of the voting bloc of Raila Amolo Odinga from the Nyanza region, because Fred Matiang'i will immensely get votes from the region where he comes, the Gusii region, that's Nyamira and Kisii County, which is now about almost 1 million votes. And remember that the Kisii are all over the country, they've spread all over the country, so you'll also have other votes from Kisii who are not in Kisii but are voting from different parts of the country. And also in the Mount Kenya region, remember that Fred Matiang'i was a man who worked very closely with former President Uhuru Kenyatta. If President Uhuru Kenyatta comes in and supports his bid for presidency, and then maybe they take Deputy President to be Rigathi Gachagua and Prime Minister Kalonzo Musyoka, I tell you that's a very winning coalition, and it's going to give President William Samoei Ruto a difficult time to run against. But always remember that there is a Gen Z thing, and they're very powerful. It's a force that you cannot do against. It's going also to determine what the outcomes will be in the 2027 election. Will they have their candidate running for president? If Gen Z will have a candidate running for president who is not, let's say, Fred Matiang'i, maybe let's say Murara Kebaso runs, then it's also going to bring a different outcome, and you might be surprised if that election goes up to a second round, because a candidate might fail for the first time to reach the 50+1 percentage that is required by the constitution for you to win presidency. I think from henceforth a lot of things are going to unfold. Rigathi Gachagua is expected to come out, speak a lot of things that in government that people don't know. After leaving Karen Hospital, we saw him come out and address issues of the Adani, issues of the NHIF that is now changing to SHA, issue of the Kenya Power, and he always came out clear that he is a man who has told the president the truth, and that's the reason why they are in disagreement, and he is being impeached because he is the truthful man. Other ladies and gentlemen will be following, but if you're watching for the first time, always subscribe to this channel so that whenever you have such information, you're always notified. Have a nice day, ladies and gentlemen.